Welcome back to my channel. This is Ominous Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection. And let's go ahead and take a look and see what games we have that we can go through. And there's not going to be really any audio from the game playing through this. This is just to avoid any kind of copyright problems that I've had in the past. So let's go ahead and get through this, and maybe in future gameplay I'll include the audio, but we'll see how it goes. We're going to start with the first one. Yes, it's one of my favorites. I know that it's got a bad reputation, but I have to say I really enjoyed this as a kid. Alright, so I'm not going to play through the whole game. This is just so you can have a look and see what the game's all about. As you can see from the menu there, you can switch to the different turtles. And I got Leonardo right here, and I'm just trying to figure out the controls here. And I don't like the border on the side, so we're going to turn that off. And oh, I don't like that. Let's keep it the original size here. We'll just leave it like this. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, here we go. Leonardo. He uses his katana sword. He's got a decent range, medium range. They classify the damage that the weapons can do based on the different turtles that you have. So like Michelangelo and Leonardo do the same amount of damage with their weapons, but the range is a little bit different. Michelangelo is the fastest of the four turtles, but he also does a weak amount of damage, just like Leonardo's katana swords. So you have a lot of versatility though with using Michelangelo, so I tend to use him the most, despite my favorite turtle being Raph. Alright, easily dispatched there. And this feels a bit different. I'm used to playing this game with an NES controller, so it's a little different playing it with an Xbox Series controller. But yeah, if you press up, you can swing up. If you press down, you crouch and you swing down. These will fill up 1.5 bars of your health when you get a slice of pizza. And the beginning part of the game here, the enemies are typically, they're pretty weak. As you see, Raphael's weapon is actually strong. You can't really tell because it only takes one hit to dispatch the enemies here, but you can see that his weapon is slower than Michelangelo's, and that's why I'm taking a bunch of damage. Played this game so many times, I should know where everything is. Donatello has the strongest weapon, longest reach, but his reach goes like straight to the sides or straight up and straight down. So if you have something coming in at an angle, he's not the best to use for that. But for the most part, you have a boss battle, you're going to use Donatello. That building there, if I remember off to the right there, would have been if you would have lost one of your turtles and you need to get them back. I know there's a full pizza in there also. But this is where I like to go ahead and use this spot to go ahead and go in and out of the sewer, so that you can go ahead and replenish the life of your turtle. You just switch them out, and I do like that aspect of the game, that it's a single player game, but you're still getting to work with all four turtles. Just swap them in and out as you need. In a way, I kind of wish they would do a direct sequel to this game, whereas if you still have the other three members as you're moving through, that you could do like team attacks. Now you can see the enemies have changed here, from the foot soldiers and the mousers and the weird fly animals type of robots. Now we have like a bunch of mutated things that you've never seen in the show. And what I'm doing here is I'm using the game's the way that they spawn enemies to just have them spawn and then disappear off screen, because enemies in this game will respawn if you move the screen back and forth like I do in Ninja Gaiden. So that's one thing you gotta be careful of, is how you're moving the screen. So if you don't want to have them respawn on you, don't backtrack and then move forward again, because they'll be right back in another sub-boss gone. And this will take a little while because Leonardo's weapon does not do that much damage. So these enemies are a little bit stronger than what we were facing before. But sometimes moving in and out of a room will change the enemies that spawn. But as you're moving across the screen, they might change again. These typically would take 2 stabs from like Michelangelo's or Leonardo's weapons, but with Donatello or Raphael, it only takes 1. Oh, one other thing to point out is if you're below half your life, the damage you do doubles. So it kind of balances out some of the difficulty that's here in a way by giving you a little bit extra damage as you it's like your turtles are fighting harder to stay alive. Usually I would try to get this guy to just fall down the ladder, but these are just dispatchers, so I don't take too much damage. Now, the age-old way to go and beat Rocksteady here is just to go on top here and stab downward with the bow staff, because he's going to jump into it over and over and over. You could go down there and just fight him straight on, but why bother? Especially when this works. And this was the Nintendo Power back in the day and told you how to go in and do it. I mean, you don't even have to really look at the screen to go and take him out. And he's vanquished. Yeah, that easy. And you can do this at home with the Cowabunga Collection. And we have April rescued, and now you'll see that she appears here to go ahead and give you some support. Alright, so this is the second area that most people tend to not get past. Going in and out to go ahead, and there we go, we get the enemies that I prefer to fight with. And you might say, oh, you're avoiding the challenge, and I say yes, because I want to beat the game. They designed the game this way, I'm going to play it that way. I'm not cheating, I'm just using the systems that are in place against itself. And they give you a half pizza here because the damage you take from the last round stays with you. So if you beat the level, you need to come back and get healthy. Now these will follow like a path where they start moving from. So if you can try, unfortunately I didn't do it quite well there. You can lure them and get them to move out of your way. Now, a lot of people would sit here and try to jump up this way, but they made it too high for you to really make that jump that way. So you're going to have to go all the way to the right and up and then over to the left. If you go all the way to the right here, you'll be able to get a full pizza. There, I was able to lure that one away. But you got to do a little sub-boss battle here. And done. So, full pizza for me. There's my reward. You gotta watch that jump. If you press it full, you're not gonna make that jump. Alright, so that's complete. We're on the dam. And you beat these little foot soldiers. And then you gotta jump down in here. And I typically start with Raph, because there's gonna be a little bit of damage that I take here. But Raph, unfortunately, is the turtle that I use the least. I have it memorized where the bombs are. And that's pretty much it. You just need to know where the bombs are and be patient, not like I was there. Stay out of the kelp that's down there because it'll automatically capture you. Don't bump into things like I have been doing there. And it's the electrified kelp that will do most people in. As you can see, I've already lost more than half my life, which should not have happened. Usually it doesn't, but I'm still getting used to the controls here. They give you plenty of time to get through this. This is the part where most people end up losing their turtles, but If you really need to, you can swap out your turtles in the middle of that. So if you're taking damage, you just swap them out. Waiting there on the side is pretty much what eats up a lot of your time. You're just gonna have to manage your turtles as you're going through, seeing where their health bars are. And as the time ticks down, the music will pick up, and that'll add pressure to getting through this on you, because you're just like, oh no, here's the music, I better get moving. Okay, and there's the last bomb that we got to get to, and to make this quick, I'm just switch to Donnie and just go through. And that's how it's done. Okay, that's the second section done. We're not going to play through the third level, but let's go ahead and take a look at this beautiful cutscene that's coming up here. And I say it's beautiful, yes it is, because back in the day, we didn't get this a lot in video games, and this was amazing when I saw it at the time. Oh no, what's going on here? Where is Splinter? Oh no, Shredder's here, and he's pointing at me, and his hand is coming out of the screen, just like this. He's taken Splinter and ruined my house. Well, I live in the sewer. I don't know how much he could have ruined it by, but that's not the point. He came in and he did damage, and he's got my master, and I gotta get my master back. So that will be what we do in Area 3. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and save the game, which is a cool feature, so I can come back here and beat this later. And let's go ahead and quit this one out and take a look at some of the other games here in the collection. All right, the original arcade game. Let's go ahead and use Raph, because I wasn't using him before. We're going to use him now. That is my guy. Fire! Hang on, April. All right, you got the theme music going. Michelangelo's going to land on the bottom, and off we go. All right, this feels pretty much exactly how it was in the arcade. Using 2 buttons and a joystick. Classic. Now back in the day, this beat 'em up stood out. Beautiful bright graphics, large sprites, 4 players, and when the track mode was on, it kept playing the theme song, and you wanted to go and play that game. One of my memories of playing this in the arcade, I started playing it, and this was back in New York, not in the city of New York City, but upstate New York. I was at the Base Exchange. There's like a little lobby area before they check your IDs to let you in the store. Started playing it. One of my classmates, he joined in. Normally we didn't get along, this classmate. I'm not going to mention his name here. But yeah, normally we don't get along. He was a popular kid. I was not a popular kid. He popped in a quarter. I was playing as Raph, and we beat the game together. Not with his 1 quarter. It took me like $10 of quarters. I'm not proud to say. I wanted to beat the game, and I'd never beaten the game before. And it was just me and him going against the machine, and we were able to get victory. After that, did we get along? No. But during that time period, you know, we're playing and working together so that we could beat the game. That was, in a way, kind of a good memory. That's what video games can do. I mean, back in the day, you know, weren't looked at as a good thing to be someone who plays video games all the time. It was something that very few people did. Oh, Rocksteady's gone and done with. All right. Now we got to go get April again. I don't know why they keep kidnapping the news lady. Now, one of the things that a lot of us older people do, because the hobbies that we enjoyed were not looked upon as a positive thing. I mean, like if you were into playing Dungeons and Dragons or video games, things like that, you were thought of as nerdy, a geek. The things that people say proudly about themselves nowadays as like some kind of badge of honor. But back then, socially, it was looked down upon. So there wasn't like a community of getting together and playing video games, really. You had to kind of find each other in a way of, and once you did, you know, you guys stuck together because you had the hobbies and you guys were going through the same things of being bullied for playing these games and being unpopular, you know, living in your fantasy worlds, playing D&D. Oh man, I fell in the man. I don't know why I keep falling in there. All right, so when you come out at the bottom. Don't push up. So what I was saying is, some of us kind of hold on to the, pride of being a person that played video games and stuff like that, because we felt like we earned it. We went through all the troubles of being bullied, made fun of, and unpopular to enjoy what we do. And nowadays, there's not that hurdle. It's commonplace to have people play these things. It's mainstream. Like if you watched Stranger Things, they have this character in season 4. His name's Eddie. He was in the metal and he played Dungeons and Dragons. Things like that. Things that are not really in society in the 80s very popular. But now he's like a beloved character and I guess kind of relatable to some people. More so than they would have been in the 80s where the show's depicted. So for me, I understand like the character of Eddie. I had a bunch of friends that were like him. We weren't popular, but now everybody's like, I'm just like him. Sure you are. He didn't have to go through all the misunderstandings of what we did when we were growing up. It's kind of like Raphael, my favorite turtle. He's got a lot of issues. Well, I think this is as far as we need to go with this one. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. And let's go and check out another version. But Raphael, my favorite turtle here, he's got a lot of angst. He's got 4 brothers. And I got to use Raph, he's my favorite turtle. And we're going to go and take a look at Turtles in Time. One of the best arcade games made for a beat 'em up. Great music, great graphics. And they really improved the gameplay here. Whereas the first one was pretty basic on the attacks. They ramp things up big time here. This is probably one of the first ones you should be playing. Get your family together. I don't know, he's taking statue. There's Shredder again on TV, and it looks like Baxter Stockman is the first boss. And you can see Raphael's got a lot of personality. We got Splinter telling us what to do, and right off the bat, look at that. The attacks are different. You can run. He does a back throw, throws them right out of the screen. A lot of different throws, and they changed up like his special attack. I like that jump kick. So he doesn't do the rolling kick anymore. I'll give that up for a bunch of the other moves that he can do. I love that shoulder charge. That throw never gets old when you're surrounded, especially. But they've also kind of upped what the soldiers can do here. It's better animation, a lot more personality out of the characters. One thing that's a little off to me though is the size of the turtles to the foot soldiers. And this is where I get a little nerdy. So like Raph, I believe is supposed to only be like 5'4" or 5'3¼ something like that. The Ninja Turtles aren't that tall, so they're by no means huge Michael Bay versions of the live action Ninja Turtles where they made them like gigantic. They're not like that. And why would you want your ninjas to be well over 6 feet tall? It's going to be hard to hide. It's hard for larger people to sneak around. This game would definitely be a lot more fun with all 4 getting played. And you can play this one online. I'm not doing that right now because I'm just kind of showing you an overview of the game. These games are, for the most part, I want to say the latest one is over 20 something years old. So I believe the first one came out, the one I played here, I think it came out in 87. They're pretty old games, but I still love them. They're still great. And that's one thing about these games. For a licensed product to have games that are timeless, that are in the grouping, for the collection, that's amazing. There's not many games that you can say are timeless. All right, there we go. Got him. Cowabunga. Let's go ahead and call it quits here. Let's go ahead and take a look at one of the other games. All right, Hyperstone Heist. I always looked at this as kind of like Turtles in Time. I didn't play this one though. I didn't grow up with the Genesis. Not because I didn't like the Genesis, it's because we had one game console and I didn't have the money to buy anything at the time. But this looks pretty good. I wonder how much of a clone this is off of Turtles in Time. That was alright. I think I would have been pretty satisfied seeing that at the beginning. And let's go with Raph. Okay, this looks familiar. I guess we should be seeing Krang fly. Okay. Alright, this is already different. I mean, well, we still have the same result. Statue of Liberty is gone, but we don't know who did it this time. Was it David Copperfield? Nope, it was Shredder. I don't know why he's challenging the turtles every time. And if he's able to do things like this, why not just make money disappear from different places? Because that's what he's wanting to do, right? Is take all the money and then rule the world? I don't understand doing this and then, like, say, hey, turtles, come after me. Ninja Turtles should be like the least of your worries. I mean, you got military forces and armies to contend with, nuclear weapons. Your big thing is Terradrome. Alright, so the controls are pretty good here. I think this feels just as good as... still got the special moves that you would have in the Super Nintendo version of Turtles in Time. The level design's a bit different here. I mean, some of the things are similar, but you just move to a section in the sewer here so far. It stops your movement forward until you clear all the enemies. And then you move forward a few more steps, stops your movement, and then you fight another set of enemies. I mean, essentially that's what a beat 'em up is. Now for the home versions, you can't just add coins. With the home version of the game, they had to make it difficult for you to not beat the game so quickly that you lose interest and feel like you wasted. Prices typically at the time were about $50 a pop. Super Nintendo games were also in a range of like $50 to like $80 depending on the game. So far, no bosses, which is really weird. I keep waiting for this car to come out. That one's gonna move. Yep, there it is. There's a little bit stutter here and there, slow down, but all in all, this is a pretty good version of the game. Although it's weird not to have a boss yet, because I feel like I'm already 2 levels through, and I feel like they're flooding the screen with enemies like every few. Like you move forward a full screen, and then see how many more enemies pop up here. Still, it was like a half screen that I moved, and it's flooded with more enemies. Again, this is designed to go ahead and make the game feel longer than the game probably is. I will say though, you feel usually pretty satisfied back in the sewer. Okay. I really need to get my sons in here to go ahead and play this game with me. I remember these from the cartoon. Got no lives left. See how far we can go here. Yeah, I'm playing this with a helmet on. My field of view is not... Oh, Leatherhead. It's not that great. You were too immature to hang with me. I'll take you down, I guarantee. Alright. He took me out. Alright, so I'm not going to go further with that. I do like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie graphic they have down there. It's a bit weird though, considering it has nothing to do with that. Alright, and let's see. War Tournament Fighters. So we got different versions of that. We already played through that one. Let's check out the Manhattan Project. This was actually a really hard one to play through for me back on the NES. This was one I actually didn't beat, but now I have the opportunity to do that, which is something I'm going to look forward to. We got a great opening here. Now, this was back on the NES. It was 8-bit graphics, and this is how it looked back in the day, and I was quite happy with how that looked. Alright, so Crime is escalating in New York every day. So some things have not changed since the 80s. Actually, this one I think came out in the early 90s. Oh no, it's Shredder again. He's on TV. Looks like he slimmed down since the first one. What? And he's taking April along with Manhattan Island. Why kidnap April? I don't know. It's a trope, I guess. They changed some things up here. When you're attacking, I was throwing sand in my eyes. If you press like in different directions, you get different types of attacks that you can do. You know, poke straight out. If you push up, he'll do this attack here, which will lift and throw the foot soldier behind you. See, like this, which is pretty cool. I'm just checking his special attack. See if I can make that work here. Usually it's just pressing the jump and attack button together. Because remember back on the NES, you only had 2 buttons really. You have A and B. It's rare that, oh, okay, there it goes. It's rare that you have a game where, I was able to get it to work. Whenever you do the special attacks, it does kind of like eat away at your health if you make contact with an enemy while you do it. I was able to get it to work. I don't want to go too far into this game because I know that I'm not going to get that far, and I don't want to eat up all your time while playing this game. Look at some of the features. I'm not saving it because I will do better when I go back and play this through. But yeah, there's more tournament fighter games, and you know, we got all the different versions of it. You'll be able to go and play through. We have Follow the Foot Clan from the Game Boy. These games are a bit slower to play through. We got Back from the Sewers. I'm not going to play through these here. And we have Radical Rescue. These will be things that I might play in like in a gameplay playthrough video that's separate. I just kind of wanted to give you a taste of the different games that are available here. And let's see what else they have for features here. We know you can play online with some of the games, not with all of them. We go in the turtle layer here and you got strategy guide there, music. Oh, that's cool. Got the cassette tapes for the different versions of the games. So that's cool. If you just want to listen to the soundtracks, that's really nice. Behind the scenes stuff, that's what I want to see. I like that these are here. I'm going to probably spend quite a bit of time here. I like the idea of being able to take a look at the stuff in here as far as what it takes to create a game. It's always fascinating to me, especially with game design being always the thing I wanted to get into. But at the time I didn't quite know how to. Why do they have these shows in here like this? Are we? No. What? Do they actually have episodes of the show in here? No way. No way. Okay. All right. So they have screenshots from the show. Okay. That makes sense. No way that they're going to have the TV shows in here. That would have been nuts. But I do like that they have these in here. So you can take a look and see the different art and seasons of the show. So that's nice. The comic books. I doubt that they have the full comic books in here. Okay, yeah, it's just the different... I was going to say screenshots. It's not screenshots. It's different cover art that they had for the different issues, which is really cool. And you can see Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman's artwork and their style here with the first few series. Let me see. This is the Archie series. Yeah. You'll notice that it has got IDW listed on. I think the only reason they have to do that is because IDW probably holds the license right now for the comics. but originally it was an IDW on those. What's this? Oh, okay, the different ads. This is kind of cool. I remember seeing this one in many a game magazine I was going through. Ultra Games was a spin-off of Konami, because at the time Nintendo had a rule where you could only make so many games in a year under your company. So they kind of like created these other companies that were actually still Konami, but it was as Ultra, and so they could release more games. It was something that Nintendo put in place to try and curb the amount of games flooding the market, to make sure the quality of the games. So they figured limiting it. So these are the manuals. There's a lot of nostalgia here for me, because I spent a lot of time with the game manuals, just reading all the different things about the game. And I love the artwork. This is one thing from gaming that needs to come back. I mean, I get it, sure, they put links to like their web pages and stuff like that, but it's not the same. It is not the same as having a game manual in front of you and looking through it and exploring all the different things about the game and the characters. They often added stories in there. I love that they have this all in here so I can go back and look at it. Okay, so you can search for, it looks like, any kind of reference. Most of these are characters in here, and looking at that media, platform, game, vehicle, characters, items. Okay, got Ray Fillet. Came back with 7 different items. And let's see, we'll do the search. And so this will show everything that Ray Fillet was referenced. And okay, that's kind of cool. So if you wanted to know more about a character, they were related to the game, this is how you'd find information on them. So that's pretty cool. That's not expected. This is something that should be done with pretty much any collection of games. The other ones like that I've gotten that have something similar to this would have been like the different Mega Man collections that were released in the past few years. I like this. Oh, they translated everything? That's awesome. Yeah, that's really awesome. Okay, and we got strat guides. Okay, so for each game, they don't give you a whole lot, but they give you some. That's for 3. Very nice. I'll have to look through that. Maybe I can get through the 3rd game. Well, that'll do it for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga Collection. I hope that you picked it up so that you can enjoy this game. Overall, I think this is a very robust collection. If you're new to the channel, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I will continue to make videos here for you so that you can enjoy, and we'll probably put up more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection videos. That'll do it for me today. Have a good one.